I removed my friend from Facebook because she got drunk and hooked up with a married groomsman at my wedding after making me stop the whole reception, so she showed up drunk at my dad's house screaming for the truth, and then got herself arrested. Posted by you/couldthisbetheone. About a month ago, I, 36F, realized that every time I saw a post from her, 37F, it made me upset. I realized we don't even live in the same state, and I don't want to let her have control over my emotions any longer. Backstory: we worked together about 10 years ago, for 2 years. When we met, she was very negative and controlling, constantly telling me how to make decisions in my life. Things like not getting a dog because I wouldn't care for it, because my pupper will be 7 this Halloween. At the same time, she seemed to idolize me and said I was her best friend almost immediately. After only knowing her for 2 weeks, she became upset and started crying because I didn't invite her to a girls' night from a group of girls that I have known from high school. She said she didn't have a lot of friends and she thought I was a really awesome person. She begged me to invite her on anything I did, and would bring up any instance of me doing something without inviting her and make me feel guilty about it. Okay, I thought, everybody struggles sometimes, maybe she's just looking for some friends. About 3 months after I met her, she started dating a guy from work. Cool, I thought. Perhaps it's the pickup she needs to feel better, raise her self-esteem a little too. Fast forward a year and a half, my friend insisted I was a bridesmaid, one of 2, for her and Guy's wedding. Okay, cool. She and hubby buy a house 1.5 miles from my house I own, loudly proclaiming there were much better houses, but we got this one because we were so close now. Oh my god, okay. Fast forward 6 months. My fiancé cheats on me and I leave him and sell the house. My friend is furious with me, screaming and telling me that I've abandoned her, and that I'm an awful friend, and she never would have bought a house there if she knew I was going to move, there's no point in her living here and now we aren't 2 couples and so forth. Fast forward about a year again, I'm healthy and happy and I meet an awesome Brazilian man. We date and move farther away. She moves to another state. I decide to marry the hot Brazilian, and stupid me lets her guilt trip me into letting her be a bridesmaid. My soon-to-be husband invites his huge family, about 50 people traveled just from his side alone. She insists to her husband on coming to my wedding alone, even though it's clear that I'm also friends with him. She misses her first flight, causing someone to have to leave the rehearsal dinner to pick her up, about 45 minutes away, instead of earlier that morning. She gets so drunk at the rehearsal dinner that a group of us carried her back up to her hotel room afterwards. At the reception, she continues sloppy drinking and ends up in bed with a married groomsman from Brazil. After she's missing for about an hour, other guests find her and alert me, causing the whole wedding to come crashing to a stop while more than 100 people ask each other, "But isn't she married?" Especially frustrating after earlier in the night she insisted we let her dance alone during the anniversary dance, because she wouldn't let her husband attend. She's scowling and making angry faces in every wedding picture, even during her bridesmaid speech, that she insisted on giving. Fast forward a year and my husband and I are happily married. She left her American husband and is trying to immigrate to Brazil where the dude is. She constantly complains about how things are not going well or she is somehow wronged in any particular situation. Nothing is her fault. She blamed her ex-husband for their divorce and never told him that she cheated on him at my wedding. So yeah, if she's got no idea why I removed her, then she's completely oblivious. Is it even worth responding? I feel like if you don't have anything nice to say, why light the pot on fire, you know? Relevant comments. Commenter: where's the part where she's bothering your family? Ops response: she basically started texting my sister and brother, and then my mom because she's worried. Commenter: hasn't your mom been dead for 12 years? Ops response: stepmom, to get technical. Dad's been remarried for almost 11 years now. Commenter: I would have unfriended her for causing a scene at my wedding like that. It's unforgivable. How can anyone argue against that? Commenter: I would have avoided her in the second paragraph where she was very negative and controlling. Ops sounds like a doormat. Ops response: after 25 years with a narcissistic controlling mother, 12 years after her passing, I am realizing now that you are correct. Commenter: she is a narcissist. You won't ever get through to her, so don't even waste your energy. Ops response: unfortunately, I feel like that's how I let it go on. She filled the narcissist hole in my life after my mom passed about 12 years ago. Very interesting, I never considered this, thank you. Top comment: here's the deal, if you had set boundaries sooner, I'd say ignore her. But you've had zero backbone in this relationship. You willingly participated in the blossoming of the friendship. You let her into your life despite allegedly not wanting to. You don't just ask people to be a bridesmaid because they annoy you enough. You don't spend genuine and significant time with the person and then act like it's all on them and that they are just some nuisance. You have completely enabled her behavior. Given the history of your relationship with her, it seems typical now that you would do another spineless thing, not confront her at all and delete her out of nowhere. This lady is clearly unhealthy and probably codependent. But you have not helped the situation. You are no better. Please respond to her and be very clear about why you did what you did. You are 100% correct to detach from her, but ghosting is cruel, and in this situation, unjustified. Update, 1 month later. So first, thank you for every comment and suggestion. Even though I was very confused as to what to do for the first few days after my post, I knew I needed to say something. About 2 weeks after I posted here, she sent a message to my sister saying that I'm a lot of trouble and that after my last relationship ended I forgot what was important, her. She told my sister I was jealous because her Brazilian man is hotter than mine. What? My husband? 3 weeks after my post on Reddit, she sent me a direct message saying she supported me through a lot, and I wouldn't have made it without her, and I owe her an explanation. I decided this was the time. I'm thankful for the replies to my previous post because the words flowed much easier than I thought they would. I told her, I've realized our relationship was not healthy from the beginning. I think it's time we go our separate ways. I wish you the best. Her reply was her listing all the times she's helped me, including putting me in her wedding, what? Lol, to the guy she cheated on at my wedding, and including a different time she helped me by inviting herself last minute on a road trip that she didn't want to go on and complained the whole weekend. She was obviously upset, and she sent 10 or 12 long messages before she stopped. She also posted 7 or 8 passive-aggressive real friends are posts on Facebook, as told to me by friends. Then she showed up at my dad's house that evening, very, very drunk. She was standing on the porch screaming that they tell her the truth. My stepmom ended up calling the police after about 15 minutes when it looked like she wasn't leaving. They didn't open the door. 2 officers arrived and she proceeded to yell at them. She was arrested. The officers gave my dad their info, mentioned restraining orders and left. No contact from her since then. Dang, I'm glad I don't live near her anymore. Relevant comments. Commenter, she couldn't handle the truth. Ops response, ha 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 ha, oh my god, I hadn't thought about that movie. What an idiot. Commenter, is there any chance that she was in love with you? I just mention it because this all seems like the responses of someone with hidden love feelings that they just don't know how to deal with. And mental health issues. Ops response, this is something more than one person has said to me over the years after her weird outbursts about plans I made without her. Commenter, you know what's funny? I had read that old post a month ago, and thought she was psycho for buying a home next to yours and blaming you for selling it after your engagement broke. And look, I found your update post today. Such a small Reddit world. Anyway, glad you got out of that friendship. Some girlfriends sometimes take platonic friendships to be like soulmate relationships. It's creepy, but very sad that they can't set boundaries and have healthy relations with people. Good luck to you, Op. Also, beware in the meanwhile. Some people can't get over rejection and may not drop the crazy for a while. Op's response, thank you, Reddit friend. I wasn't sure if an update was necessary, but it was because of that post that I decided to grow a pair. Plus I can't make this stuff up, it is so ridiculous. Commenter, that was a sad ending. Op's response, I don't know. Maybe it's the wake-up call she needs to realize her actions aren't healthy. I hope, for others in her life. Commenter, what about her family? Do they know about her behavior? Op's response, she's an only child, and her family is on the other side of the country. I doubt they know what's going on. She never really contacted them, and never invited them to her wedding. Commenter, probably, but that is her own fault, clearly, as she drove them all away by being a jerk. Op's response, this is the impression I get. She doesn't have long-term friends.